There's a 9-digit number at the very heart of the U.S. tax system that almost no one talks about. It's a key that unlocks a huge part of our economy for millions of people, but it's also widely misunderstood. Today, we're diving into the story of the ITIN.
All right, let's just jump straight into the big puzzle here. Think about this. Millions of people file U.S. taxes every single year, but they don't have a Social Security number. So, how do they do it? I mean, how is that even possible? Well, the answer is a kind of parallel system, one built for a very, very specific reason.
And here's our answer. It's called the ITIN, which stands for Individual Taxpayer Identification Number. Now, the official definition is pretty straightforward. It's just a tax processing number. That's it. When the IRS created it back in '96, its one job, its only job, was to give folks without a Social Security number a way to file their taxes. It's a tool for reporting, and that's supposed to be the end of the story.
So, how do you spot one of these in the wild? Well, there's one simple, really crucial trick. An ITIN always begins with the number 9. Always. It's a small detail, sure, but it's the little flag that tells you you're looking at something completely different from a Social Security number.
Okay, let's really break this down, because this is the part people get mixed up on all the time. On one side, you've got the Social Security number. That's your ticket to getting a job, to getting benefits like Social Security when you retire, the whole shebang. But the ITIN, totally different story. It does not let you work legally. It does not give you access to Social Security benefits. Its purpose is laser-focused on one thing, tax reporting. If you remember one thing, remember that.
All right, so we've got the what. Now let's get into the who and the how. Who's actually using an ITIN and what do you have to go through to get one? Let's walk through the blueprint.
You know, the group of people who use ITINs is way broader than you might think. Yes, it includes undocumented immigrants who need to file taxes. That's a big part of it. But it also includes a whole bunch of other people who are here completely legally but just aren't eligible for a Social Security number. We're talking about folks like survivors of domestic violence, students on certain visas, even some spouses and kids of people on work visas. Oh, and foreign investors who have income here in the U.S. It's a really diverse crowd.
And this is where it all starts. This form right here, the IRS Form W-7. This is the official application. It's pretty much ground zero for anyone needing an ITIN. You fill this out with your personal info and officially ask the government for your tax number.
Now, getting one isn't just filling out a form. It's a whole process. First, obviously, you complete that W-7 we just saw, but here's the key part. You have to attach a finished federal tax return with it. This is a big deal. It proves you actually have a legitimate reason to need the ITIN. Then you have to prove who you are. We're talking original documents or certified copies like your passport. And once you got all that together, the whole package gets mailed off to the IRS or you can take it to a special center.
Okay, but here's where the story takes a really interesting turn. Because what the ITIN was designed to do, well, that's only the beginning. It's taken on this totally unexpected and you could argue much more powerful role in the American economy.
See, the IRS thought they were just creating a simple tool for filing taxes, but that's not what happened. In the real world, the ITIN morphed into something else. It became a key.
And just look at what this key started to unlock. Because there wasn't an alternative, a lot of financial institutions, banks, credit unions, you name it, they started to accept the ITIN as a valid ID number. And that, right there, changed everything. Suddenly, millions of people could do basic financial things, open a checking or savings account, get a credit card, take out a loan for a car, even get a mortgage for a house. It basically became this backdoor key to financial inclusion, letting people build a U.S. credit history from scratch.
But this double life, tax tool by day, financial key by night, it puts the entire ITIN program on this incredibly shaky tightrope. It's trying to balance two huge and often clashing government priorities, protecting taxpayer privacy on one side and enforcing immigration law on the other.
So, on one side of that tightrope, you've got the law, specifically Internal Revenue Code Section 6103. And what this does is build a massive firewall around your tax information. It basically promises anyone who files that the personal info they give the IRS is going to stay with the IRS. It's not supposed to be shared with other federal agencies, and that includes immigration enforcement. This trust is like the foundation of our entire tax system.
But then you look at the other side of the tightrope, and you get a totally different perspective. A report from the Treasury's own Inspector General basically said, hey, wait a minute, this privacy firewall you're so proud of, it's stopping the IRS from helping us deal with unauthorized immigration and work. So the very thing that makes people trust the system, that confidentiality, is seen by others as a huge problem. And that right there, that's the central conflict.
So, okay, we've got this tension, right? But with all that going on, what's the actual real-world impact of this program? What's the bottom line here? Let's get to the numbers.
Check out this number, $5.8 billion. That's how much ITIN filers contributed in net taxes in just 1 year, 2019. And this isn't some guess or a projection. That's the actual measured amount of taxes paid by this group. It's a huge economic contribution.
Of course, a number like that only tells you so much. The human side is where it gets really interesting. Take someone like Ernesto. He's a house painter. For him, paying taxes isn't just about following the rules. He said it's about creating a record, a paper trail, proof that he's here, contributing to the economy and complying with the law, hoping that one day that record will help him.
And then there's this quote from Alicia, who works in fast food. When she was talking about paying back taxes she owed, her reason was so simple but so powerful. She just said, that's what citizens do. It really gets to the heart of it, right? It's not just about a form or a number. It's about this deeper sense of responsibility, of belonging.
And all of this really brings us to the big final question. The ITIN started out as this humble little tool just for filing taxes, but it's clearly morphed into something way bigger. It's become this unofficial key to the financial system and a real symbol of economic participation for millions. So what is it really? Is it just a 9-digit number in some government database? Or is it actually a blueprint for what a more complex, more inclusive American economy could look like? Definitely something to chew on.